from us. Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? It's Kraken Nation, coach of the Boston Bisharps, and today we are back. Season 5 is officially on its way, officially started. So, you know, we're coming back at you with another hot off the press team builder. So, we are not super happy with our draft. We're hoping to be able to change some things once the options to free agent open back up. But we're going to make do with what we got this week, and I think that we have a lot to work with. But we are facing BC Bastiodons, coached by the BC Lions King. Definitely a team that I think is on the come up. They didn't do super hot last season, but they have a very threatening draft this season that I'm very confident they will be able to use much more effectively. So they are not to be taken lightly without a doubt. They also, I should say, do have quite a good degree of team matchup against us. There's a lot of threats there that I will be struggling to deal with, to say the very least. So we're going to see what we're able to do to ultimately beat them. I should probably go over the team he has, but I don't remember it right now. I will just load it up in the in this good old Season 5 spreadsheet. BC Bastiodons, coached by BC Lions King. So they have Pinsir Mega, Hippowdon, Latias, Doublade, Suicune, Trevenant, Emboar, Exploud, Stoutland, Haunter, Levani, and Kabutops. So right off the bat, you know, we're seeing a lot of kind of just bulkier offensive Pokemon. I know like Exploud, Emboar are two really threatening wall breakers. Suicune is also a very bulky Pokemon. Doublade, really just a team full of tanks. Latias, Doublade, Suicune, Emboar, Exploud, I would call those all very tanky Pokemon. Honestly, even Stoutland to an extent, Trevenant to an extent, and Hippowdon to an extent. A lot of tanky Pokemon, kind of middle range speed, similar to us as far as speed goes. Very similar to us actually overall in terms of draft stats, something I noticed that was very interesting. If we go over to draft stats, I'm pretty sure that theirs are very similar to ours. If we look at BC Bastiodons and Boston Bisharps, you can see actually, yeah, they are like 81 to 85, 103, 101, 93, 91, 77, 74, 81, 82, 77, 77. So they are super similar to us in terms of draft structure, honestly. But as far as big threats go, obviously there's no way that Pinsir Mega can ever be said to not be a threat. Mega Pinsir is just terrifying to go against all day long. Latias isn't super bad. Doublade is always a threat because it can really stomach hits very well without a Violite, especially on the special physical side. It can tank hits extremely well. Suicune will always be a threat, although I think I have some good stuff to deal with it. Trevenant is going to be a problem. Trevenant basically single-handedly wrecked us last season. So that's going to be something to watch out for. From there, Levani also. Man, this guy's just taking some of my loss and just rubbing them in my face, isn't he? Levani and Trevenant. But Levani is a threatening Pokemon, but I think I will have better ways to deal with it this season. I think Emboar is also a Pokemon that should never be taken lightly, as it has monstrous wall-breaking capabilities and also a good special attack stat that allows it to run very threatening mixed sets. So without further ado, we're going to hop right into a team builder for this coming battle. It's nice to have a CSL Season 5 folder, isn't it? So the team I decided to bring was, again, based around forming a defensive core and then having the teeth to latch on and do some damage when the moment was right. So starting off the bat, we have Snorlax, Fat Albert. We're changing up the name, so this is Fat Albert. Snorlax with Assault Vest, basically just a tank, hits on the special side, Crunch, Facade, Pursuit, Earthquake. So I noticed key thing I noticed when matching up against BC was that he has a Mega Pinsir, and Mega Pinsir obviously really appreciates hazard clearing. However, his only hazard clear, beyond Kabutops, I guess if you count Kabutops, I guess I should count Kabutops. The only real hazard clear that I can easily see him bringing is going to be Latias. If he wants to bring both, you know, whatever, that's fine. I have things for both of them, honestly. But Latias is his main hazard clear. And I can bring in Snorlax, and actually, the one thing I never really used in Season 4, I never really realized Snorlax got it, is a Pursuit. So I can basically switch into a Draco and Pursuit trap it from there. So really force it into a tough situation as far as Latias can't repeatedly clear hazards as long as Snorlax is around. Assault Vest lets it take hits all day long. Earthquake achieves very good coverage against most of this team. You can see against Emboar, hits Doublade, hits Kabutops. This hits a few things, pretty solid neutral coverage alongside Crunch. But I don't know if I'm going to run Crunch in this last spot. Crunch is kind of just to be a more safe option, but I don't know if it's ultimately going to be the best decision. There probably are some slightly better options to run in that last spot. Potentially Seed Bomb might be a good idea. Facade is just in case we get burned by Suicune or Trevenant. We can proceed to... I guess we can't hit Trevenant with Facade, but if we do get burned somehow, Facade will be able to start dishing out some pain against specifically Suicune. Clicking Scald is the main reason why I am running that. Pursuit also lets me Pursuit Trap Haunter, which is pretty cool. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm definitely pretty excited to see. Snorlax is a pretty good Pokemon to bring this matchup. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be keeping this particular move Crunch, because it honestly gets kind of repetitive coverage, particularly against Doublade. And I want to see if there's anything better to potentially run. Nothing really stands out to me though. Seed Bomb might be cool. Just hit Hippowdon and Suicune, and Kabutops, but Seed Bomb actually doesn't even do a whole lot to Hippowdon, who is ridiculously bulky. Rock Slide would be good for Pinsir, but I don't really feel like Snorlax is going to be taking hits from Pinsir, so I don't really feel like I need to run offense on to hit it, because I'm not going to be taking hits from it anyways. I don't know. I'll have to put some more thought into what I want to put in this last move slot, because it's definitely not a done deal there whatsoever. Maybe there's some interesting moves that I haven't really noticed that Snorlax gets just yet. Because I really don't know what I want to run in that last spot. I could run Metronome and just be crazy. Just get really insane. Who knows? On the Salt Dust, so I obviously have to run attack move. Anyways, don't want to get too hung up on that. That move may change, that move may not change. We will see. Next up, we got Expert Level Victini. Victini is really cool because it gets Blue Flare, Grass Knot, Psychic, U-Turn. These are all great coverage moves, and it gets honestly any coverage move it wants to get. I decided to run a special move pool because special allows me to hit things, specifically Hippowdon and Doublade, very hard on the special side, which is their weaker side. So the thing was that I really wanted to be a way to break down Doublade effectively, and so that's basically what Victini is able to give me. Victini is kind of afraid of a potential Shadow Sneak, I should say, but I'm not too worried because Victini does live one Shadow Sneak as long as it isn't boosted up to +2, and proceeds to OHKO from there with Blue Flare. Grass Knot hits Hippowdon and Suicune pretty hard, specifically Hippowdon very hard. Blue Flare plus Grass Knot means Hippowdon cannot switch in. Psychic hits specifically Emboar very hard, who is not hit by the other two moves. Psychic is also a pretty good move to achieve neutral coverage against a lot of this team, as it honestly does hit almost this entire team for neutral coverage, bar just I think Latias and Doublade. So it's a pretty safe move to click. If I'm not sure what to click. And then U-Turn is just for momentum. Basically, I think Victini might be a good lead matchup in this game. It might be a good lead matchup as far as most of this team. And then if I decide I don't want to stay in, I can just U-Turn out. Let's say like I have Victini in, and something I don't like is on the field, such as a potential Sucker Punch from Emboar I don't want to deal with, or a Scarf X-Blad could be about to bot me. Potentially a Haunter that could be Scarfed. There's a lot of things that I could, if I'd want to scout for. And so from there, I would be able to switch out, see what he's thinking, or I could just click U-Turn if I thought a switch was going to come in like one of the ones I just mentioned. So U-Turn's cool. I don't need it for damage, so I was willing to run an attack decreasing nature. The speed EVs are to outspeed, I believe, Kabutops. Or no, I think it was actually for Levani. Nope, it was for Haunter. 95 speed tier, Haunter. So the speed, you will see this number 319 repeated a couple times on this draft, I think. No, you won't actually. But this is the number that I decided I wanted to outspeed Haunter. Kind of really wanted to run a modest nature, but I would have to be giving up a lot of speed to be doing that. And then Haunter, I feel like, is a pretty big threat to this thing, especially if a Pokemon's potentially running Scarf, such as Suicune. or actually, I don't. How fast is Suicune before Scarf? I don't know what I'm saying. Suicune holding Scarf would be useless because I would already be outsped. How fast is Suicune? Suicune's pretty fast. I don't know. That's something pretty key to think about for me, actually. Another thing that I might have to look into, maybe it's worth running a Modest Nature, is I have a pretty good switch into Haunter in the form of Snorlax. I'm curious, does Haunter get Trick? If Haunter gets Trick, that would be very. It does, huh? I don't want to switch Snorlax into a Haunter and then get tricked. Is one potential thing I want to think about. So that's another thing. Actually, that's what I really enjoy with these team builder videos. Is in doing them, I kind of start to realize potential things that I might want to do differently. Anyways, next up we got Cresselia. Cresselia is the physically defensive variant, basically to take on and help me bring a stop to the threat that is Mega Pinsir. Thunderwave, Moonlight, Shadow Ball, Toxic. Shadow Ball allows me to stop, not be setup fodder for Doublade, who can otherwise come in, set up, and bot me with a Shadow Claw. Thunderwave is a way to slow down Pinsir and kind of get a handle on the situation. Toxic makes this set not useless against Pokemon such as Hippowdon and Stoutland. It's pretty much a really good switch into those two, though, otherwise. And Moonlight gives me some recovery. Unfortunately, Moonlight will be hindered by a Sand if Hippowdon brings Sand, which it probably will. So that's kind of unfortunate. I have to be smart about that. Next up, we have this team will basically 100% of the time lose to Crocoon. But what's nice about Crocoon is that it cannot touch Toxicroak. So Toxicroak coming in clutch. Toxicroak is really cool because it has really power of coverage. I'm considering switching Knockoff into one of these spots. Not entirely sure yet, but right now we have Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, Drain Punch, Gunk Shot. Achieving perfect neutral coverage on this entire team, although I cannot hit Hippowdon hard at all. Lumberry allows me to take a burn from specifically Trevenant, which is the one thing that I was fearing. If Trevenant wants to try to burn me, I can just take that, Gunk Shot away its substitute, and SD up or something. I don't know from there what I would do. But Lumberry is basically just to help me ease the situation with Trevenant in a pinch just a little bit. Because Trevenant has been a problem for me in the past, so I wanted to make sure I had some solid ways to deal with it. And I do believe that I do now. I think I do. I hope I do. Trevenant's kind of scary, honestly. But I feel confident that I have at least some semblance of a way to deal with it now. Because I think if we calc this, I want to calc this. But Toxicroak, 252 attack, Gunk Shot to a Trevenant. Trevenant doesn't run Choice Band, but let's say he's max HP, because Trevenant would probably be Spadef. Gunk Shot, as you can see, even without a Life Orb at +2, is going to do a clean OHKO. If I just knocked out to +2, that's a very clean OHKO, so you can even could be running some defense investment, and I would still be safe there. So yeah, this thing achieves pretty great coverage. Dry Skin lets it take hits from Suicune and basically be a hard stop to Suicune. And I think that it should be all set from there. Sucker Punch allows me to hit Haunter specifically, along with outspeed things like Latios, and Drain Punch gives me some recovery, but I don't know if there are many situations where I would be able to click that. Speed EVs are to outspeed Kabutops, I believe, specifically. Sorry about that. I got a text. Kabutops is specifically to this is a pretty good answer to Kabutops, which could be scary if it's a rapid spinner, or is it can also hit a lot of my team pretty hard. So I should be able to Drain Punch and heal back up a little bit, maybe. I resist both stabs. Specifically, I heal from one of them, which is pretty cool. But Swords Dance, this is a pretty cool potential win condition, honestly. That's what I'm hopeful for. Tyrantrum gives me a nice way to emergency stop Pinsir. If Pinsir's going off, Pinsir's a threat on the field, and let's say something dies. Cresselia died. What am I going to do? Tyrantrum has the situation under control 100% of the time, as long as it has not been priorly weakened. Choice Guard Tyrantrum is my stealth rocker, so I'm hoping to be able to get like a nice bait there and fool him a little bit, make him assume that I'm some sort of just slow variant, make him think Pinsir is safe to set up, and then come in. I'm EV'd exactly at speed, max speed, Mega Pinsir, and then Head and Smash will honestly be able to just bop from there. And so Earthquake achieved perfect coverage, Edgequake. coverage alongside that. Roar is kind of sketchy, so I might change that. I'm not sure. There's not really many moves to put there instead. Dragon Tail might be cool, honestly. Yeah, maybe I'll just do Dragon Tail, actually. I don't know why I wouldn't do Dragon Tail and I would do Roar. Dragon Tail would be stab, stronger attack, phase things out. Yeah, I don't know in what situation I would want Roar and not Dragon Tail. I don't even know if he has a fairy type. He doesn't even have a fairy type. Why would I ever not run Dragon Tail? But yeah, I'm going to run Dragon Tail then, actually. That's a good call, but good. That makes me happy. And so now I can phase things out. So potentially Crocoon, if I can take a hit from it, I can phase it out. Anything that sets up Levani, I can take any hit from probably and phase it out. Same goes for potentially a setup Emboar or Pinsir but I think in any situation with Pinsir, the best option would be to just KO the fuck out of it. Finally, we have Togetic, a Violite, Special Defensive, Heal Bell, Wish, Defog, Air Cutter. Essentially, this is just to keep the team healthy. If he wants to run Toxic on things like Doublade, on a defensive Doublade, or on Hippowdon, I can keep the team healthy. Heal Bell, Wish, Defog, Air Cutter. Air Cutter allows me to not be complete fodder to set up from Pinsir or Trevenant specifically, so I can Air Cutter them and kind of take away some of their either their sub or break their just not be complete fodder to set up. Again, Defog allows me to clear away hazards so that specifically Victini can switch in repeatedly if I want to try to apply pressure through Victini. I should note that there's only one, maybe two, pretty much just one Stealth Rocker. So if I can kind of put pressure in a way that Hippowdon can't easily switch in, I should be pretty much safe from rocks. I was considering bringing Caracosta, but Caracosta and Tyrantrum would fill very similar roles as far as offensive rock types, so I didn't really feel like there was a need. It was kind of repetitive. Caracosta also didn't achieve KOs on things that I really wanted to be able to achieve KOs on. So that's the team. Wish me luck. I'm very nervous, but I think if I can get through this week, I'll be in better shape in coming weeks. I have some really exciting plans for my draft coming up. So wish me luck. Please wish me luck. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Leave a like, comment, rate, subscribe. It's always very appreciated. I will see you guys later. Until then, Kraken Nation out.